Hey y'all, welcome back to DIY with me. I'm so excited and so happy you're here. Today we're going to use just a simple bunny cutout, and I'm going to use some really cute napkins that I found that are spring-like to make a spring bunny using decoupage, these napkins, and of course a handy-dandy lighter. Now, as you may recall, I'm not the greatest when it comes to lighting and everything else with the lighter, and I'm kind of a little bit afraid of fire. So we'll see how this goes. First thing I did was this came in a knot. So first thing I did was unknotted it. And this is cool. The bunny is cute this way. You can always do it on this side. And I think I'm going to do it on this side. That way, if I want to create something on the back side, I can. So I'm going to actually do it on this side so that I have something on the real cute so I could flip it around. And I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to put a stop sign here and put this as my new stop sign for when I'm recording in my studio. Because, sometimes people walk in and they think, like the other day I was recording something and filming something and I had to totally re-record it because my husband walked in and I kept like waving him off. So like, go away. And he kept coming in. So yeah. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our napkins out. I think we're going to end up using 2 napkins. I'm not quite sure. That's going to be the hardest thing for you guys to do, is to be able to find a napkin that you like and a napkin that you can use for these crafts. I had the hardest time trying to find out the napkins. First thing you're going to do is you're going to separate the layers. You're going to have 2 layers because it comes 2-ply, and obviously it's not going to cover the whole bunny. So we are going to have to get 2 napkins, possibly 3, to decoupage it. So I'm going to go the other one, and I think this other one I'm going to have to use some scissors. So luckily I have my scissors right here so I can just pull them out. You see what I did is most napkins come 2-ply, 3-ply. So you just come and you just take your napkins apart. So what we need for this craft is decoupage glue. I'm using the matte finish, doesn't matter what kind, a foam paintbrush, which remember I said if you end up ruining the brush, it's okay. You can take this part off and use this for a craft. And scissors and a cutout and some napkins. And this is what I'm doing right now, is I'm getting my napkins done. Now, like I said, I noticed that on my napkins, and I'm just going to put them over here so next time I clean my glasses, I have them here. I've noticed that it's not going to completely cover no matter how I'm going with it. So I'm going to have to cut this up a little bit for the bottom. The bottom piece will cover. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in half. I could have used a bigger napkin. Yeah, but I just like the florals on this napkin. So I'm going to cut the napkin in half. And then I'm going to cut here. I'm just going to need just a little bit on the bottom here and a little bit on the bottom. I'm going to have to kind of piece them together. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and, and I need the smaller paintbrush, which luckily I have right here. My paintbrush is right here. So I'm going to go ahead and remove myself from this so you can see what I'm doing by myself. So what you're doing is you're just going to come and get the decoupage. And I said I was not going to do it on this side. And what did I just do? So guess what, guys? I am doing it on this side after all. And you're just going to brush lightly. Just put a little bit of layer of glue on your bunny. You can come back with a letter opener or something to do the hole punch, to do where the holes are later. Now I may come back later because I think this bunny is too cute and he would be perfect for my stop sign on my office door, and use some either washi tape or something just to kind of put a stop sign up there. I have been using a chalkboard with washi tape and the word spelled out in washi tapes, the word stop spelled out. But I don't like it as much as I used to. And I think I'm going to use that board for another craft. Anyways, the hardest part about doing it on the white side is you really can't see exactly where you've hit with the glue because it kind of like blends in. So that is why I wanted to do it on the other side. But I made an oopsie. That's okay. So I think I have it all covered now. So I'm going to add a little bit more here to the feet. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take and put the lid on my glue. Like I said, it is the Mod Podge matte, but I also have satin. And I'm going to let my paintbrush dry a little bit before I do anything else to it. And I'm going to pause for a second, guys, because I'm going to turn off this fan in here. Okay, I turned the fan back off. I turned it off because I was noticing that the napkins were starting to fly. Now, this napkin has a design, and the flowers are all going this way. So I kind of want to place it on the bunny so the flowers are going the right way. You're just going to come and you're just going to kind of make sure all the little things are out of it. Like I said, I'm going to have to piece this together because this napkin is not big enough. But I like the pieces. I like the flowers. I like the floral print, and I just think it's so pretty. It's okay if it has a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Wrinkles in it, because we can deal with the wrinkles. And so now I'm going to come back, and I'm just going to go down on the bottom here. And I'm just going to place this down at the bottom and place it down. Probably going to overlap it just a little bit. So I'm going to add a little, I think I have enough on my paintbrush somewhere I can add it right there. Add it across. Just so it kind of overlaps a little bit so you don't actually see the abrupt seam. So I'm going to do right here. Then I'm going to come and I'm just going to cut right here across. Okay. You want to leave extras because you're going to have to burn. You're using the burn techniques. So push that in really quick and come back on this side. And if you saw that, I kind of cut a jagged edge. So I'm just going to cut this little piece off right here. I'm just kind of evening it up a little bit. And then that piece will go down, lay down here. Okay. So we have majority of it done. Now I'm thinking that maybe I might be able to use, nope, can't use it. All right. So we're going to cut up this little part of this napkin here. Making sure that we keep our letters going the same way. And I'm going to add a little bit of glue right there just to keep it so it's a little bit more adhesive to it and adheres so it doesn't pop up. Okay, so we have that much. Now, in all fairness, if you wanted to do this with yours, you could easily come back and you can easily find a bigger napkin, but I'm just using the small one because I really like the foil print on it. And I'm coming back and I'm adding some glue right here so it'll kind of adhere better to it and adhere to the top. And you don't have to add it to the top, but I'm adding it to the top so maybe the seams might not be, you don't see them as well. And then I just have a little bit over here to the side, which I'm going to go ahead and add some glue right there. And probably, this is probably dried by now, so I'm going to just add a little bit more on my ears, only because I think it's dried. Then I'm just going to close this back up and put this aside. And then I'm just going to come back, and I'm thinking I only need a small piece, so I'm not going to really put a huge piece on here. And I'm just going to come and I'm just going to cut right here. And then you're going to come back with your top coat and just kind of smooth it out. Okay. The rest of it is okay. So next thing you're going to do is you're going to, okay, so this is what it looks like. It doesn't look like a bunny, right? Watch me. Okay, so next thing you're going to do is you are actually going to come, and I have some extra here that I know is not going to burn off quickly. So I'm just going to come and cut off the extras that's just like hanging out. Just so that I know that we won't be here burning a lot. I'm just going to cut off some of the extras. This is the good way of looking at it, is if you flip it over and you see there's a huge overlap, like here, I'm just going to cut right here. Just cut some extras out. So it's not a huge overlap. And see, like down here at the bottom, we don't really need all that. Just kind of trim it up just a little bit. And then you can cut. And then you can burn. So I think we've got it, except for maybe up here. Okay. So I think we've got it to where we can burn all that. And I'm just going to throw all these right here in my trash can. You can always save them if you want to work on something else. And I'm going to clear off my desk, or clear off my workspace, so that I can start the burn technique. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually backing up my chair a little bit. And I'm just going to come over here to the side and start my lighter. And once I've started it, I'm just going to hold on to it, and it's gone. See? See how it formed that? Okay. So now I'm going to do the same exact thing. You'll have a little bit of residue. I'm going to do the same exact thing here. I'm going to start it. And that one kind of burned out by itself. Okay. So now we have at least part of the ears of the bunny done. So let's do the same exact thing here. And what I do is I just light it and then I pick it up so that the flame doesn't go anywhere. That's the reason why I shut my fan off. It's because I did not want the flame going anywhere. You see how it's burning? This one's taking longer. The reason why I did not put a lot of Mod Podge on the top part of this was because I found out when I was doing the shamrock that if I did this and I did the shamrock, if I put too much on the top, it was not going to burn. So I'm going to go back later. That's why I did not put the Mod Podge up. I'm going to go back after I do all this and see what we got left. This one's a really long burn, if you can see. You see, we have some stuff coming off. But don't you think it's kind of neat that it just like stops at a certain point? Now we do have like little stuff right here, but that's okay. We can work on that. So I'm just going to take off this extra right here real quick. You know, you see if I had my fan, you see how that went blowing? Well, guess what, guys? It would have blown all over the place if I had done it the other way. If I had the fan on, it would have been all over the place. So I'm just going to real quick come back with and look, it's already flying everywhere. I'll have to clean it up in just a second. But I added a little bit of Mod Podge here just to kind of get it to lay flat. And there's a couple little pieces here. But you notice that some of the pieces, like for this piece right here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it. This piece right here, it kind of went over. And in other pieces, it didn't go over enough. So this is when we come in with our paint pen. Now, I'm going to add, like I said, I'm adding a little bit here because I don't think the glue stuck to it. But I have several different color paint pens, and I'm thinking that maybe a gold one might be really pretty to use. And I don't know if I have the gold one open or not. I have one open, but I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, the gold one. I think a gold one would be really pretty to put on the edges. So what I'm going to do with just my paint pen, after I've gotten all this stuff off, you notice how I just kind of blew it off? I'm just going to come and I'm just going to paint it in. So you're just adding a little bit of dimension to it. So it covers up the spots that may have burnt off quicker than what you thought it should. But it also gives it like a jewel tone look. And see, like that piece right there did not burn off. I just noticed that. So I'm going to look at that piece. That piece right there needs to be caught on fire. There's a little edge that didn't burn. I'm going to try it one more time because it didn't want to burn. It didn't want to catch. There we go. We got it that time. There we go. Now I'm going to let that cool off. So I'm going to go around the bunny the other way. And all you do is through your paint pen, you're just coming back and you're just drawing like a line around the paint, around the bunny. And if you see there's something like you're doing right now that you have a little extra, then you can always stop and undo it. There's no rhyme or reason for this whatsoever of how you want to paint. You can just paint a little bit like I did, or you can just draw a straight line. It doesn't matter, but it's making the bunny stand up a little bit more. And all I'm doing is just going down. I'm going this way, going down because we're up. And then you'll see where there's pieces that may need a little bit of glue stuck underneath it. So that's when you lift it up because it may not have adhered right. And you add the glue down and then you push it back down. That's all you got to do. There may be pieces that the glue, where you've burnt off, the glue may have burned off with it, and you may have to put a little bit more adhesive on it. But I promise you, this is going to be worth it. So I'm just going to continue doing the line. You can do the line this way if you want. You can do the line the other way. And I think I'm going to do the line this way from now on. And there's a little piece right there that needs to be burned off. But you see right here, look, it burned off more than what we wanted it to. But that's okay. We're going to come back and add in the gold with it. So it's going to look like the bunny just has an extra gold ear. I'm going to come back and add some more glue right there. So I'm not going to do that piece. And you're just going to come down. You can do it this way, like I said, or you can do it the other way. This way seems to be better instead of doing a line, because it seems like it's catching better when you're doing it this way, even though doing a line might be easier to do. And what you're doing is you're just covering up the imperfections. And you're also noticing if there's any pieces that need to be kind of added glue onto it. Like where we burnt right here, it more came off than what we wanted it to. You may have to come back with your paint pen and just kind of, and like that particular one, I know I'm going to have to add some glue on. So some of it, like I said, some of the glue may have burnt off while you were doing it. So you want to make sure that it's, you'd have it adhere really well because you don't want it peeling off. And you're going to continue around until it's all done. See how it's making it so that you can't even tell that there's, well, you can if you're close up to it. You can tell where there's an imperfection. But if you're far away, can you even tell? No, you can't. So I'm just going to continue. That part came off. Sometimes you may need the glue to dry a little bit before you add the paint pen on. And I should have done that. So don't do what I did. Let it dry and then come back. I've used this technique on so many things, and I have a technique coming up where I've used it on a seashell. It's really cool. I used it on a word that I was going to show you how to do it, and using this particular napkin too, but the word, somehow when I recorded it, I did not have, somehow it didn't catch me talking, so I wrote the word thankful, but unfortunately I can't share that with you because that's the only button I have that says thankful. I'm going to go back later and attach some more Mod Podge to this because I think that it needs some more Mod Podge. And see, like right here, you can always do like that. You can always do dots because it seems to come out better with dots, especially on spaces that you don't. You can just, like you're priming it, especially on places where there's not any kind of make your dots kind of overlap each other. I'm almost done, guys. Almost. See, like right here? And see, and it'll... But you got to be careful with what you do there. Did you see that? But see how when I primed it, it seemed to be better. So if you're having trouble with your paint pen, do a couple of dots, which will get the paint flowing down into your tip of your marker or your paint pen. and then you're going to be able to do it a lot quicker. Once again, that piece right there, the ear came off because when you're playing with fire, you're gonna get burned. No, it's kind of, you don't know what it's gonna take and what it's not gonna take. So, but the key to this whole thing is to make sure that you put glue down, but don't put glue on top of it, because if you put glue on top of it, it won't take. Because you can go back and look at my Pinterest fail where I tried the shamrock and it wouldn't take. I'm almost done here. I just have this much to do. And I'm going to come back, like I said, and add some hot glue. I mean, I'll probably add hot glue to this, but add some Mod Podge back in it. I'm going to zoom out so you guys can see it. And I'm going to zoom over. Whoops, not that far over, this far over. Okay, so you see where my desk is kind of messy right now. It's very messy. Excuse my cows down there and the puppy seat. That's where the dog stays. But you also have the holes. Now, if you're going to use this just like this, you can use it just like this and it'd be cute. But you have the holes where we're going to hang up the hanger once again, because like I said, I'm using this as my stop sign. So I would say if you buy this, though, definitely use this side. Mine was the oops side. But all I'm doing right now is I'm just poking the hole through the napkin so I can put my hanger back on there. And I'm just using a simple letter opener. You can use anything pointed. You can use a screwdriver or anything you have on hand, a pin, because the napkin is so thin. And then what I'm doing is I am going to thread it through. If I can find the hole on this side, I'm going to thread it through one side, and then I'm going to thread it through the other side. And then you're just going to kind of even it out to make sure it's even. And then you are going to just tie a knot at the top. And there you go. You can always disguise it if you want and add a bow or add some flowers or something up here to disguise the hanging. But there you go. A cute little bunny hanger from a Dollar Tree bunny cutout. But I will link a wooden cutout similar to this on my Amazon store if you can't find the bunny hanger. I used a bunny hanger. I used Mod Podge, a foam brush. And remember, when you use your foam brush and you're done with it, these little foam pieces pop off. And you can put these dowels in your craft cabinet and you'll be able to use it ever again. Napkins, floral napkins, Mod Podge, and a lighter. And I use the big lighters like this because it's easier for me because of my hands. And some scissors. And guys, this is all you need for a cute little bunny. And I may end up coming back and putting a couple of flowers up here just to kind of disguise this. I have a big peony flower that I can put up here that I can disguise it. So until next time, guys, be blessed. Please like and subscribe to the channel and look for another DIY coming soon.